Taurus, this is an interesting month and it's very, very good for you for socializing. It's also great for you to use your intuition. And the good news is there should be lots of joy and fabulousness for you. Let's start at the beginning. Mercury, the planet of communication, is entering your position of socializing, getting your ideas across, social networking, all of that stuff. And also on the 5th, Mars, the planet of action, is dragging you into quite an intense space. And this space is all about your primal emotions. So Mars, which is your energy, which is your vital life force, is kind of stirring up situations to do with security in your unconscious. If there's any of areas in your life that you're denying or you're clinging on to patterns connected to negative security, then Mars could sweep some changes into your life. It also makes you feel very sensual, very sexual, very passionate, but it may be drawing you towards things that possibly you haven't explored before. It's quite a wild Mars space. And the one thing to avoid when Mars is there is to not be vengeful, because it can also stir up a bit of trouble. Now the new supermoon on the 8th is again in your position of getting out there in the world, spreading your message, being aware that you're part of the one consciousness. We are all connected. And if you shine like a beacon with whatever desires you have and you put it out there, it really is a particularly good energy this month for manifesting your dreams. So think about what you want. If that wasn't enough, on the 8th, excuse me, I seem to have a frog in my throat. On the 8th, the sun is opposite Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, but in this case it's quite good. The danger is you might go out and you might get overexcited and have too much going on, but it's good for meeting people. It's good for kind of challenging yourself and expanding. We have Venus, your ruler, also entering that position of socializing and getting your message out there, collaborating, anything you do with other people, anything where you form alliances and allegiances this month should work out really well, and you feel very at home around people. And also on that day there's a 5-planet stellium in that energy, so the whole of the first half of this month and also beyond, actually, you've got this vibe that it's important that you don't stay in, that you don't kind of do things on your own, but that you mix with people. You should meet people in crowds who you have a deep connection with. There should be sort of pockets of good fortune when you go out. Now on the 14th, Venus, your ruler, is squaring Mars in that tricky primal position about security, power and powerlessness. You might find yourself in a power struggle with someone at work or outside or around other people, and it's very important to keep your cool, otherwise it could get tricky and possibly even dangerous. As Mercury is also squaring Saturn in that position, it's about taking personal responsibility, and it's about knowing your power in situations without exerting your power, if you know what I mean. So like, you may be in a situation where you are more powerful and you could take action, but it would be destructive. And so the powerful thing to do is to be still and to be in love and act in love. And that will, the 14th is a very challenging day in general. Okay, the good news is though, later on in the day there is a grand Earth trine with the moon in your sign trining Jupiter in your house of pleasure and trining Pluto in your position of adventure. So something could happen on the 14th that challenges you but ultimately leads to freedom. But it's the one day of the month that I think could be very tricky for everyone, very testing. Now there's a part of you that wants to transform, and on the 16th Pluto is trining Jupiter, and Pluto's saying, you know what, if you do change, if you do have an adventure, if you do go forward, I'm going to reward you. The full moon on the 23rd is getting you emotionally organised. You're thinking about organising your life. You're thinking about how you can become healthy in your emotions. And you're also moving into, from that point in the month, back from the 20th, 21st, you're moving into a time where you're feeling much more spiritual. There should be lots of synchronicity around you. You're tapping in to your soul. And particularly on the 24th, when Mercury trines Mars, there might be a very deep healing conversation, perhaps connected to the past, perhaps connected to an old wound, where you turn things around. On the 25th, Saturn is going retrograde. Again, it's all about going into the past to see how you learnt about life and particularly about responsibility. Finally, on the 25th, Venus is opposite Jupiter. You've got to do what you got to do. So particularly when it comes to collaboration, it's very important that you take care of the details. You're healthy and wise. Take care. Have a fabulous March, and I'll speak to you soon.
If you like this, please come to my website where there's thousands of articles from psychic to soulmate and lots of free tarot readings, www.michelleknight.com. And for all the written astrology of this month, week, or even day, go to horoscope.co.uk. Take care.